I don't think I've ever talked about that tax strategy on YouTube before. If you're buying a house and you use it for content, as long as you own the new facility 100% yourself and you own your LLC or S corporation 100% yourself, you can make a grouping election. Now you can use the losses from a cost segregation study of a house that you purchase for content studio, warehouse, etc., to offset the active forms of income that you're earning from your S corporation. This does not require you to spend 750 hours, does not require you to manage the property for 100 hours. Why? Because you're already active and materially participated inside of your S corporation.
Well, that sounds like a fascinating strategy. And, I know Carlton's got a great reputation. I don't know enough to speak intelligently about that grouping piece that he just talked about. But the one thing he didn't bring up is if you buy that house for your content studio, whether or not you can live there. I don't know if you can actually live there and still do that. Yeah, if you buy a house and it's totally used for business, you just go there like this studio here. This is one of the buildings in my compound, but I live here as well. So I turned this building, top of this building, into a video studio. It's a kick-ass studio. But again, I still sleep here at night. I wish he'd have mentioned that because I don't understand this enough to speak intelligently about that. But I love the grouping idea between an S Corp, and he says you got to own it completely yourself. So there's no asset protection with that, by the way. But if you own it yourself and you own the house yourself, so I guess you'd have to have it in your personal name, which also doesn't afford you any asset protection. So the asset protection is a hurdle there that you'd have to think about. Very interesting. I mean, this is cool, cutting edge stuff if it's real. Again, I just don't know if you can live in that property or not. So that'd be a question to ask him if you pursue that. We don't get into much on my boot camps about taxes other than cost segregation, which is a fantastic way to accelerate your taxes. And they just included bonus depreciation. We definitely talk about all that at my boot camp. So if you're interested in learning how to buy multifamily properties, larger properties, not a house like he's talking about, but actually multiplex or a 10 unit, 20 unit, 100 unit, 200 unit, if that's what you're interested in, then get to my boot camp. This is what we talk about for 2 full days. I teach every aspect of it. You'll leave knowing how to find deals, evaluate them, pick a market, evaluate that market, raise all the money you need for your deals, finance them, syndicate, joint venture, you name it, soup to nuts. We have a lot of fun. It's virtual, and I don't sell anything at these events, these virtual events, and you can come for less than the price of a lunch. So, there's no excuse if you're interested in this business. Put boot camp in the comments, and I've got one coming up, and I promise you'll be glad you came. See you soon.